I'm Frank Pulciani, and I run the Sports Legends basketball team that we do a lot of work with police and fire organizations. I served as a sheriff for the Cook County Sheriff's Department, an investigator for 19 years, and I've been working with a lot of charities and working with a lot of organizations. The organization we're working with now is the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation, which has a scholarship program for fire training, and I'd like to introduce my friend Chico Walker from the Chicago Cubs.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Chico. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing all right?
No.
You excited about the Cubbies this year?
I am excited. First time in a long time, in fact. I think they really have a great chance of going to the World Series, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, you played with a lot of Chicago greats. I mean, you've been around baseball. If I'm not mistaken, you were drafted, I think, by Boston, by the Red Sox. And I know you played for the Cubs, and then you played for the Mets as well.
I did.
And it must be in your blood, because your nephew is Antoine Walker, who played for the Miami Heat with Shaq and all those guys.
Boston Celtics.
The Boston Celtics.
Miami Mavericks. No, there's definitely some blood that's running down the veins of the Walker clan.
Yeah. So Antoine was picked up by Boston as well. So is that where you guys are originally from, or you're from Chicago, right?
From Chicago. I was originally drafted by the Boston Red Sox, and Antoine was drafted by the Boston Celtics.
Wow.
So there's a lot of coincidences there.
Yeah, Antoine's still pretty active with sports and stuff as well. He's still in the circuit.
No, he is. Yeah, he's doing a little play-by-play for internet. I can't recall the name of the program he's associated with, but he's doing a second interview and second interview with ESPN now to do college basketball. So
great.
Hopefully that works out for him, and he has a lot of knowledge of the game, and I think it would be great for him.
Now they did a documentary on him, so maybe we can go back a little bit about, you were born and raised in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And Antoine was a graduate of Mount Carmel. And I think the story has it, because I've known you, Chico, for a long time, and I've had the pleasure of having you as part of our organization and playing with a lot of our celebrities and all that kind of stuff, and basketball, and doing a lot of charity work. But you never went to college, did you?
No, I was fortunate enough to get drafted out of high school. Being a kid from inner city, playing high school I was a really good high school baseball player. I had scholarships to go to maybe 15, 20 colleges, but I was fortunate enough to get drafted, by the Red Sox, and I choose to sign a professional baseball contract out of high school, and I thought I would go to school later.
Yeah.
So
you got your schooling in the major leagues.
I got my schooling in the major leagues.
And if I'm not mistaken, and we always tell this story about Chico actually played in the longest game in baseball. It was, well, I'll let you elaborate on that a little bit.
No, this was like 1991. I was in AAA, Boston's AAA farm team, playing against the Baltimore Orioles AAA team. Game started at 7:30 this particular night. Started the game was probably between 55, 60 degrees. By the end of the game, it was down to about 35. Game started at 7:30, and we ended up playing until 3:30 in the morning, and the game still wasn't decided. We resumed the game about a month and a half later. We ended up winning the game. I think it was 4-3, and to this day, it's the longest game in baseball history. The only sad thing about that was I was 2 for 15, and that wasn't good.
Yeah. So tell us some of the guys you played with in that game, because I know you mentioned a few of the guys that are kind of legends in baseball. Why don't you, can you tell us about some of the guys that played in that game that you?
Yeah, a couple of Hall of Famers. Wade Boggs, he was on my team. He was the third baseman on my team. We had a couple, pretty good on my team. Couple of other really good Major League Baseball players. Pitcher Bruce Hurst, left-handed pitcher for the Red Sox, San Diego, a couple other teams. Marty Barrett, second baseman. He was MVP in, I think, 86 World Series.
Okay.
Opposing team, Cal Ripken.
Wow.
Cal Ripken, Hall of Famer.
Wow, what a name that is. Yeah.
A couple other guys I can't think offhand, but, it was some talented guys back then.
Yeah. Now, you were a switch hitter, and you played utility. So you played a utility player. Can you sum that up and for people that don't know what really a utility player is, what would you?
I've been a switch hitter pretty much my whole life. High school, when I first got drafted, coming up through the Red Sox organization, I was a second baseman. But at the major league level, they had, Jerry Remy, Rick Burleson was the shortstop. I played at shortstop occasionally. In the outfield, they had, Carl Yastrzemski, Freddie Lynn, Dwight Evans, Jim Rice. So there was no room for me to play infield or outfield there. So credit to them, they came to me and said, hey, you want to be in the major leagues, you're going to have to learn to play a few positions.
Yeah.
I balked at it at first because I thought, hey, I'm an everyday player. I want to play every day. I'm young, and I should be playing every day.
Yeah.
But that attitude didn't get me very far. So I went back to the minor leagues and said, okay, I learned to play third base, and I learned to play left field, center field, right field,
I remember
as
you out
well
there.
as second base.
Yeah.
And it got me to the big leagues a lot quicker. Like I say, being a utility player is tough because you just basically sitting there, you pinch hitting in late innings, you're replacing, a guy here and there, you're pinch running, but the main thing is you want to be in the major leagues.
Yeah.
Major league is what it's all about. If you have to be on the bench in the major league, so what?
It's better than being in the minors.
It's better than being in the minor league. So, and then it was all about for me. It was being in the major leagues, and when I finally got an opportunity to play a lot more in 1991, 1992 with the Cubs and Mets, I excelled. Those were my two best years, 91, 92. I was Pepper's Waterbed Player of the Year for the Cubs in 91.
Oh, congratulations.
With the Mets, I was Player of the Month a couple of times,
Yeah.
for their organization. So
Who was your manager back when you played for the Cubs? Well, let's start with the Red Sox. Who was the manager back then?
Red Sox, the first year I got to the big leagues, 1980, my manager was Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer, not only to me, was a great manager, but he was a really, really good friend of mine. We conversed a lot off the field as well.
Yeah.
From there, I came to the Cubs. Jim Fry was the manager the first time around with the Cubs, and when he got fired, he went on to become the general manager, and Don Zimmer got the job
As
the manager with the Cubs.
Right, yeah.
And again, opportunity knocked for me.
Yeah.
He knew me from the Red Sox days, and he brought me on in 91, and
history.
It's history.
Yeah.
But Don Zimmer is he's the best manager I've ever played.
So you played with Sandberg and did you play with Fergie Jenkins? Those
No.
guys? So Fergie was before you.
Fergie was before me.
I'm just thinking back in the days when I grew up in the old neighborhood, but Billy Williams. I'm talking, and I know these aren't guys you played with. Glenn Becker,
Kessinger.
Yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I grew up watching these guys, but
Yeah.
I played with the Sandberg, the Grace, Leon Durham, Jody Davis, Keith Moreland,
Wow.
Andre Dawson, Sean Dunston,
Andre.
and then so forth and so on.
What was your relationship with Ernie Banks?
Ernie, we didn't have a personal relationship, but more or less, high and by, he'd come to the clubhouse, he'd sit and chat about, stuff here and there. Had more of a relationship with Billy Williams because he was the hitting coach and the first base coach, a couple of times, 87, I think, from 87 to 91. So he was around.
Okay.
Whereas with Ernie would just come, pop in here and there and, just chat with the guys. And, off the field, I would see him at golf tournament and stuff like that. But
Yeah, he was a legend.
he was a legend.
I guess they just finally found a burial for him somewhere that they had a little controversy with
Right.
him. But
No, I didn't know that.
yeah, they just finally put him in a resting place.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, but, so then you, if you had to think about some of your favorite moments as let's just go back to Fenway, because you played in two of the best ballparks
Greatest ballpark.
the greatest ballparks in
That we
baseball.
built,
I had the pleasure of going to Fenway with you, actually, and my son was a big Red Sox fan. I was brought up in White Sox Park, so unfortunately I passed Kaminsky Park every day on my way to DSL High School.
That is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Right now, I can honestly say that I'm really into the Cubs, and I'm a Chicago fan, but I do want to say that this Cubs team is really, really talented, and Theo Epstein has done a great job with the team. I know he just signed a big $50 million contract that we were talking about earlier.
He did.
Yeah. Back in the days, I mean, you guys, those contracts, these guys are making $100 million for all these years. How do you feel about that? Do you think they're overpaid?
Do I think they're overpaid? Absolutely. But, if the opportunity to get the money, get the money.
Yeah.
Utility guys, making $2.5 million is unheard of. And I've always said, when I first came to the major, I played, behind Jim Rice, Carl Yastrzemski,
Wow.
And then you look at guys like Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and Ron Santo, and I mean the list just goes on and on. These guys didn't make half the money that guys are making nowadays. They didn't make a fourth of it.
Wow. That's something?
But the crazy thing about it, these guys was twice the players that these players are nowadays.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, not to take anything away from Addison Russell.
Right.
Addison Russell,
Great player.
He's a great young player. He's going to be a great young player. But he makes the All-Star team hitting .245.
Wow. That's unheard of, right?
It is unheard of.
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago, that would never happen.
Why would you say he made the All-Star team? Popularity?
Fans, stuff in the ballot boxes, and I mean, it happens all the time. But there has to be something. There has to be a change to that stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way a guy's hitting .242 with 6 home runs should make the All-Star team.
Yeah. No.
Because All-Star team is about stats and popularity.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of the guys, they got the home run derby and all that kind of stuff. How many home runs have? What's the most home runs you hit in a season?
The most in the major league was 8.
Wow.
8. In the minor leagues, though, I averaged about 17 a year.
And what was your high batting average?
In the major leagues, 284 and 90 and 92.
Okay.
284. I would say it's a toss-up between 91 and 92 as to which year was my best.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'd like to touch a little bit on our charity basketball game that we're having. We're having an actual, the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation, we're hosting a celebrity basketball game, which we're having the honor of having Chico play. He's played in a lot of charity events. He just got back from Boston. He plays in a lot of golf outings and does a lot of public appearances for the Red Sox and the Cubs as well. And our charity basketball game is going to be on October 22nd at Glenbard East High School. And we're playing the fire chiefs to raise money for the Foundation Scholarship Program, which enables firefighters to advance in training, work their way to the top, become a captain, deputy chief, lieutenant, hopefully a fire chief someday. In fact, the first scholarship that they gave out, the guy became a fire chief. So I'd like to touch on that a little bit. Our event is on Eventbrite. It's October 22nd, and it's going to be at Glenbard East High School. Doors open at 5, and tip-off's around 6 o'clock, and you'll get a chance to meet Dwayne Bates, actually, who played for the Bears out of Northwestern. And also, we've got Mark May from the Vikings. We've got Yasi Rice, which was Simeon Rice's sister, and she's a defensive end for the Chicago Bliss. So we're going to have some fun out there. For any information, obviously, they can contact Eventbrite. The tickets are only $15. The cause is great, and we're trying to bring these games all around the state. So I'd like to ask Chico his thoughts about, he's played in a lot of charity events with us, police and fire, along with all your charities you do, and obviously Anton's charities as well. So can you just touch a little bit about the basketball games that we do, and maybe talk just a little bit about playing with different guys in different sports, because you're playing with, now we're actually playing with women, professional women. Chris Dahl, she's the running back for the Bliss. Heather Furr is the quarterback. Playing with different people in different sports that play different professional sports. How do you feel about that? And you do it, I know you do it for the fact that you want to see these firemen advance in training and everything, because everybody's has a big heart for firefighters and police. We just got done filming had the honors of filming a shoot at the Tinley Park Fire Department with the chief and a bunch of firemen, paramedics, which will be in the local newspapers. And just touch a little bit about the games, when you do the autographs, when people come up to you and ask you questions. Can you just touch a little bit about the stuff you do for the sports legends, if you don't mind?
It's like Frankie said, I've been doing this with Frankie now, 5-6 years. You get to meet, firefighters from around the state and from neighboring state. You get to play with, ex-NFL players, ex-NBA players. It's a fun event. It's something to give back to the community. It's for charity. I think when fans do come out, they enjoy themselves, and it's something, it's something that, when it's December, January, it's cold out, nothing to do, come out and enjoy yourself, and get to meet,
Meet you. Meet Chico Walker.
Ex-baseball players, ex-football players.
Right.
And like you said,
I don't know about the Bears. I mean, they're not.
We don't know. We don't. So you're gonna need something to do. Bears are going nowhere. Trust me.
Yeah, well, I think Cutler had a boo-boo, didn't he?
He did.
On his little finger or something. Yeah.
But in terms of the games, Frankie touched on it. They're getting some blitz players. That's the ladies football league. We, bringing in a few of those young ladies. Yeah. Come out, enjoy them. It's a fun event, and I think you enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, win, lose or draw, we're all Bears fans. I mean, no matter what. And I'd like to just touch a little bit about this baseball bat. This baseball bat is got Chico Walker's name on it, and you can get these online, and you could, Chico could tell you a little bit about this baseball bat. Wow, this thing's pretty heavy. It's not loaded or anything with lead or anything. Is that how you hit your 8 home runs?
It's not loaded, but this is the bat that I used when I played.
Don't hit me with it.
It's a P72 Louisville Slugger. It's a bat that, you know,
This a bat you played with?
this is the bat that I played with.
Wow.
So I don't know if you can go online and get this one or not. This is the one that
Says the Mets here.
the New York Mets ordered.
Wow.
You know, they call you before the season and say, you know, what type of bat you want, and,
Yeah.
you know, they put the order in. But,
Wow, that's neat.
you know, Major League Baseball,
It's popular.
right, you got to have the right equipment.
Yeah.
And trust me, this is the right equipment.
Now, you're a South Side resident, you're living in Olympia Fields or in the south suburbs?
South suburbs,
Okay.
you know, that's where most of
You're a
my
Chicago
family is
boy,
now.
but you go to Boston all the time. You have family in Boston as well, and
My wife is originally from Boston, and, you know, I'm always in Boston.
yeah. So do you favor Chicago over Boston, or?
That's a good question. I was originally drafted by the Red Sox,
Okay,
so there's some heartfelt there.
yeah.
But I grew up, you know, watching the Cubs, White Sox, but I lean more towards the Cubs than the White Sox. So, and being a Chicago kid, I ended up playing for my home team,
Right.
hometown team.
Ever consider the White Sox? Did they ever look at you?
I don't know if they did or didn't, but I think that at the time the best team chose me.
I think so
The Cubs.
too. Now, is this an actual mitt that you played with in the game?
This is the actual mid that I play with.
Get out. Wow, they don't even make them like this anymore, I don't think, do they?
I'm not sure.
Does it still fit your hand?
Yeah,
Let's see.
they do. I think this is the glove that I played third base with.
Wow.
You know, being a utility guy, I had like 3 different gloves. I would bring 3 different gloves out to the dugout because
Really?
I had my outfielder's glove, my third base glove, and then my second base glove.
No
And
kidding.
this particular mitt was my third base glove, and
What's different from a third base glove to a second base glove?
a second base glove is just a tad smaller, and the pocket is not as deep. Playing second base, you need a glove where you can get the ball
Out faster.
out fast
for double play.
For double plays.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Third base, you just need something reflex
Reflex, right?
because it's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Can you still hit a baseball pretty good? I know you're a good golfer.
I can still hit a baseball pretty good.
I play a lot of golf with you, and every time we play golf with this gentleman right here it's the long drive contest guy, because I don't think that we've played we played in a lot of scrambles and stuff for charities, but this guy hits a ball a mile, and it's actually so far, the golf ball, that when we go up, I'll say to Chico, Chico, the ball never went that far. And he goes, no, Frankie, it's up here. And I'll say, no, it ain't. And long story short is it's usually, he knows exactly where that ball's at. So no matter whether it be a baseball or a golf ball, you hit a lot of balls in your career.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when the golf thing, you know, if you can play baseball, you can play golf. You know, as far as the long drive stuff goes, you know, I've been fortunate enough to win 4 long drive contests, but
What, just this year alone? Come on.
you know what they say, you know, driving is for
Drive for show.
drive for
putt
show
for
and
dough.
putting for dough.
It's like the gorilla that hits the ball 400 yards to the green, and then he gets on the green and hits the ball another 400 yards, right? Yeah. So, but yeah. So no, we're honored to have you as a part of our organization.
Glad to be a part of it, Frankie.
Yeah, we can't do stuff without you guys. Of course, a lot of the people who play now and stuff are making oots and oots of dollars and money and all that, and big salary caps and all that. But I mean, you played in the days where, you know, you weren't making millions and millions and millions, but the thrill had to still be there for you to play in Cubs Park.
It's a dream come true.
Dream come true. So, just if you had to pick a stadium, or would you compare them, Fenway to Cubs Park? Would you compare them, Wrigley Field? That do you feel any difference between the stadiums?
You know,
They're really similar, aren't they?
right? They're pretty similar, but there's 3 stadiums that stands out to me, and I don't want to, you know, put one over the other. The old Yankee Stadium, Wrigley Field, and Fenway Park.
Wow.
Those are three stadiums that I enjoy playing and being in the most. It's that nostalgia about the stadiums and,
Yeah.
even Yankee Stadium. First time, I go to Yankee Stadium, it's the house that Babe Ruth.
Oh, right, yeah, wow. Unbelievable. Yeah.
In no particular order, those three stadiums are the best stadiums that I played in.
That's awesome.
It
That's
is.
awesome. Well, I think that we just are honored to have, like I said one last time, you, the organization. What do you think the Cubs are? And they got home field advantage. I know Epstein went up from his first season with 67 wins, and it increased every year, and now they're over 100 wins, which I was really excited about. Do you think they're going to go all the way?
I do. Epstein, great young general manager, but you have to have the guns to get to where they are now. They have good young players, and the main thing about these young players, they go out, they have fun.
Yeah.
And baseball is all about winning, having fun, and that's what they do, and that's what they do best. So if they can keep this young group of guys together, which is hard nowadays, they're going to be in contention for a long time.
What do you think of Joe Madden? Besides, you love the guy.
Joe, great human being.
Yeah,
I actually played, a little bit for the Angels. In 1988, I got traded from the Cubs to the Angels, and Joe Madden was the minor league roving infield instructor. So I had a chance to meet him and talk with him then. And
wow.
From the first time I met him, I knew.
Was he like then? That's
Yeah.
almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago.
I knew right away this
Stand-up guy.
This guy is something special.
Would you say I know Epstein did a great job with the players and finding the right guys that are a good fit for everything. So it's a combination between those guys, or do you think that they just play harder because it's Joe Madden and he's kind of loose with the team? He's more kind of like. In fact, it's funny, but what do you think if they dressed you guys up in crazy suits like that back when you played in the 90s, with the flower suits and all those outfits on? What do you think they'd think of you guys back then as opposed to this day and age?
No, they actually did stuff like that, but they mainly, made the rookies and stuff, wear the crazy outfits. But, if being a professional baseball player, any sport, when you have a manager or coach that's 100% behind what it is you do, you're going to go out and bust your butt for that guy. And that's what I see the Cubs players doing. They love Joe Madden, they bust their butt for him, and that's where they are now.
Right, they're loose.
They're loose all the time.
They're loose. Even Bryant, because he got his 100th RBI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he had 99 and 99 and 99, and I was struggling. And he said, I just kind of felt more comfortable this year. And I think because the team is getting to know each other a lot better. So what you're really saying is that, and this was expected last season when the Cubs lost in the playoffs, but they said that this was going to be the year for the Cubs. And have you ever seen a record like that? 17 games in first place and clinching a division and all that kind of stuff?
It goes back to the start of the season. You come out the gate, you win a few games, then you think, this is nothing, it's early. And then you get to the end of April, early May, and then wait a minute.
Yeah.
These guys,
Serious.
17 games up.
Yeah.
And then it just goes on from there,
Yeah, no catching them.
There's no catching them.
Yeah.
And, that's a credit to Joe Madden and his coaching staff.
Yeah.
And like I say, the players just being loose. They're going out there playing.
Yeah.
You had 6-7 guys to make the All-Star team.
Unbelievable.
And it's almost unheard of nowadays. So
Yeah. No, they've got a lot of talent.
got a lot of talent.
Okay, well, I'd like to just say that our game is October 22nd. It's next month. It's on a Saturday night at Glen Bard East High School. You can purchase tickets on Eventbrite. You can meet Chico in person there. We'll be doing autographs at halftime with all the celebrities. If you don't want to make the game, you can support the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation. You can mail a donation to 205 East Butterfield, Suite 911, Elmhurst, Illinois, 60126. Or call 630-592-9646 to purchase tickets or find more about the game. I would like to thank Southland. I would like to thank Chico and Mary Compton and Rosemary DiBendetto and all the people who made this interview possible. We hope you guys come out and support a great cause. You can't ever train a fireman too much. And they're taking the boots off and they're putting the sneakers on, so please come out and see us. God bless. Chico?
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. Hey, we're back again. We just got done talking with my good friend Chico Walker from the Chicago Cubs, and we had a nice little interview with him thanks to Southland TV. I'd like to introduce my good friend, the president of the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation. Andy was a 45-year veteran of the Chicago Fire Department. He was the chief in Lamont for a couple of terms, now a resident of Lamont, if I'm not mistaken. And we have the pleasure of working with the organization for your scholarship program.
Right.
You want to tell us a little bit about that, Chief?
Well, the scholarship program was started by the Illinois Fire Chiefs Association. We are the nonprofit charitable leg of the Fire Chiefs Association. Our purpose is education and training. Our formal name is the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation Educational and Research Foundation. We also pick out topics that are current for safety and well-being of firemen. Our main sponsorship is actually the scholarship awards. We've given away as high as $88,000 to firemen throughout the state of Illinois to increase their fire service and formal education. Our goal is to make smart firemen that can serve the public a lot better than, if you want to call them, dumb firemen.
Yeah. Now, your first scholarship, if I'm not mistaken, was back in the early 80s. I think so far you've gave away $1.6 million in scholarship money.
It's been very rewarding, very successful program, and we try to reach all corners of the state. Certainly, there's a larger number of firemen in the larger metropolitan area, especially Chicago, but we try to reach throughout the state of Illinois. What we basically do with the scholarship program is we have, say, a department or a family has a loved one that they want to honor, and they donate money, we match it, and then that doubles the price of the scholarship to go out. And we also put on a number of college-level courses to teach firemen to become company officers, to be chief officers. It's a very neat program. It's recognized by the State Fire Marshal's Office after everybody puts this together, meeting standards that are devised by the National Fire Protection Association. And after the people complete those courses, the State Fire Marshal's Office awards a certificate of completion. And the courses that we offer are very, very well respected throughout the state of Illinois, of course, but throughout the country. And we even have people from outside the state and outside the country that want to take some of the courses. The Chief Fire Officer course is now online, so we can reach throughout the country or foreign countries with it on the internet.
Is that right?
It's grown something fantastic.
Now, I think when I was contacted by the president of the association, Fire Chief Sasko, you guys have a golf outing every year. Chico's a big golfer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I said, what's his best round? And I don't know, he said he shot a 70. What'd you say you shot?
78.
Was that on the front nine or the back nine? No, Chico's actually a good player. He wins the long drive practices all the time. But, yeah.
Fantastic.
So, so your golf outing just wasn't cutting it pretty much.
I think golf is sort of dying out a little bit. A lot of the younger people don't golf like the older people do. I've never golfed in my life.
Really?
And I'm an old guy. So
Yeah.
we're looking for other sources of income to be able to provide our share of the scholarship. And we also, we do have the Fire Chiefs Association has several full-time people that serve the association and the foundation as far as secretary, treasury, and things like that. And we pay our share of the rent and the salaries that we use in the process of doing our charitable arm of it. So we pay for.
How long have you been president?
I was just reelected for the 19th year in a row.
Wow, congratulations.
I don't know if it's that or they told me that it might happen until I get it right.
Should we congratulate you or give you our condolences?
Yes.
Both, right? Anyway, I just want to touch a little bit about, so the basketball game is October 22nd.
Yes.
At Glen Bard East High School, and we're excited about it. The foundation has made some good money off the program so far. We're asking everybody to please come out and support the firemen. These guys want to, we say we can't ever train a fireman too much. You can never learn too much.
The smarter they are, the better they perform. The public
Yep, the public.
gets a good service.
And I said, you know, they're brave enough to run into a burning building, but now they're really getting brave if they're gonna play these sports guys except for the Chicago Bears. I mean, we got a couple of Bears coming out,
Yeah.
Dwayne Bates and all that. But are you a Cubs fan?
I am. I
Now?
enjoy. No, I've always rooted for the home teams. Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
You're a Chicago
I
fan.
really like
I
Chicago.
just want to say one thing to all the Cubs, Bears, Bulls, young fans. If you're not going to be an athlete, I suggest you be a fireman or a cop.
That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of good opportunities, right?
There are. It was a very, very rewarding job. It's something that a lot of people don't understand. It's something that I suppose, like a sports fan, it's something that you like. It gets in your blood, and it's hard to get rid of.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that they take on the heritage and all that of the firefighters, which is always a great cause. It seems like every year, out of all your applicants, they have to qualify. They have to be the fire chief in that particular fire department or fire protection district, for that matter, has to sign off and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. The thing about our program with educating firemen is the fact that a lot of departments, a lot of municipalities, if you don't have a certain certification or a level of education, they don't even want to test you.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity not only to, get better educated, but it meets the qualifications that a lot of the cities and departments require.
What encouraged you back in the days, and I know you've been around for 45 years in fire service, what made you wanted to be a fireman? Was it?
I had the pleasure, I was in grammar school, I was 10 years old. I was going to a fire station, or a library in the South Shore neighborhood, and I made the mistake of looking into a firehouse, and the guy said, "Come here." I came in, he toured me around, told me, "I'm not working tomorrow, you come back the day after tomorrow," and I kept coming back probably the next 14 years or
10
so
years.
until I got to be a
Is that right?
full-time fireman.
What was your first firehouse you worked at?
The first firehouse I worked at was at 55th and University in Chicago.
Wow.
Well, that was full-time. I was one of the original firefighters in Crestwood when that department first started.
Really?
And then I was lucky enough to get on the Chicago Fire Department and started off at 55th and University in Hyde Park.
I
Went
know it
to
well.
46 in Cottage.
Didn't you live right around there, Chico? Where did you live at?
I lived at 54th and Emerald, which
Okay.
is maybe, 2 miles away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
What did you think of firemen when you were growing up?
I didn't.
You didn't know what they did? You
I
didn't
didn't
know?
know. Yeah. I was into baseball.
You were into baseball,
and
right?
football and
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about Antoine Walker and about the bloodlines and everything, because his nephew is Antoine, who played for Boston Celtics and Shaq and the Miami Heat and all that, and the bloodlines. And then again, we're going to go back to the firefighters, which it's a family thing. In fact,
It is a family thing.
the museum I'd like to talk about is located at 51st and
5218 Southwestern.
5218 Southwestern. It's the Fire Museum, which is an old firehouse.
100 years old this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you've got a 1928 fire truck there.
We have a 28 called an Aaron's Fox. It was considered the Cadillac of the fire service industry in those days. They went out of business because they wouldn't relent on their quality. And we have a hand-drawn hose cart, a 1911 Model T Ford fire engine.
Wow.
And a lot of memorabilia and things like that. People come and enjoy the daylights out of us. We're only open one day a month, the fourth Saturday of each month, and people come down there, and sometimes there's 20, sometimes there's 70 that come down to tour. We have a lot of memorabilia, pictures, old communication equipment, and things like that, and it's really quite interesting.
I think that we seen when we did some filming down there, shooting down there, if I'm not mistaken, the helmet from a fireman that was killed in the line of duty. I think there's a little history behind that helmet, if you couldn't remember that.
I was called by a woman from West Virginia, said that her husband had a family member that died in the line of duty in Chicago, had an old helmet they had no real attachment to, and she wanted to make sure that we were a legitimate museum and I wasn't a scoundrel looking for precious items.
Yeah.
And I met her. She came into Chicago for business, and when I took her out for breakfast, and she reached in to put the helmet out of the shopping bag, I almost had a heart attack because I knew it was very, very old, and it was a relative of her husband's killed in a line of duty in 1898.
Wow.
And we have that and a lot of other older things, including me.
So people contact, you're doing great. People contact you. So if they wanted to just maybe set up a school tour or something, I know you're open one day a week, they can make arrangements to come down to the museum
Yes, we have a website. You can contact us through the website, Fire Museum of Greater Chicago, or Google Fire Museum Chicago, and it'll take you to that website.
Great.
It's an exciting experience, knowing what people went through years ago, dealing with hand-drawn apparatus, then horses and gasoline, and now
The old water tanks, did they have water tanks when you guys, did they have the hydrants and all that back 40, 50 years ago, 45 years?
Oh yeah, that hydrants have been around in most of your major cities. As a matter of fact, we have a piece of what used to be a wooden water main from Chicago from the mid 1800s.
Wow.
A piece of that was dug up on Chicago Street when they put in ductile water mains.
Wow, isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
It's very amazing what used to be done.
Yeah,
Pretty tough men had to do that years ago.
yeah. Well, we take our hats off to, obviously, the firefighters, and then again, I'm just gonna say that it's at Glenbard East, October 22nd. You can purchase tickets on Eventbrite. You can call 630-592-9646, or you can make a donation directly if you don't want to attend the event to the Illinois Fire Chiefs Foundation
Right.
at 205 East Butterfield, 911, Suite ST 911, Elmhurst 60126. If you just want to make a donation to a good cause. Andy, you gave a lot of money out. Again, are you looking forward to seeing these guys play basketball and the Fire Chiefs?
You know what? You can't beat experience.
You don't
There
think
you
so? Now, you got some, this is the first year that we're actually having some
Yeah.
women from professional
Yeah.
football come out, so it's going to be kind of a challenge for you guys out there. I hope they can keep their eyes on the basketball.
That might be a job.
You think?
Yeah.
You're going to keep your eyes on the basketball.
Oh,
though.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
My wife might be watching.
We want to make sure of that. Chico, anything you want to
No.
say?
Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Chief Andy O'Donnell, you've got is it 17 board members?
The foundation has 17 board members. A majority of them are fire service related, and then we have people in private industry, utilities, lawyers, things like that help us out with different things. And we have a good group of people that are very dedicated to education.
So any firefighter that's actually watching right now that's not familiar with the foundation and the scholarship program
Yes.
can go on the website
Yes.
which is www.illinois.
Well, Illinois Fire Chiefs.
Right.
And then there's a heading on the top of the page that says Foundation.
Okay.
Illinois.
So they can apply then once a year?
They can apply, it's actually all done online now.
Okay. Oh, good.
And their chief has to approve it, follow the rules, and we have a independent committee of mostly people from academia that look over the application, and we help facilitate that and make the awards and hopefully make everybody happy.
That's great. And then I'd like to add that next month is Fire Prevention Month, isn't it?
October is fire prevention.
And you guys got something going on in Peoria?
We have, the Illinois Fire Chiefs Association has their annual conference in Peoria.
Oh, okay.
We go down there usually twice a year for a conference, and then 6 months later, a symposium, and then they're based on training and experience from experts from around the country, too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Equipment displays, we joined together with the Illinois Fire Instructors Association and the Illinois Fire Mechanics Association, the three of us together. So we bring in manufacturers of fire apparatus, all the bells and whistles that go with it, and
Wow,
it's a neat time.
that's fantastic. And I think your truck is always in the parades and all that kind of stuff. I know you got a little engine problems right now, but.
Right now, we have a little, we broke an axle. It's a 1928, so it has every right in the world to break.
Yeah,
Usually, we put it in the Southside Irish Parade, and we do a couple other community events during the year.
right.
88 years old, and it still works.
That's amazing.
I hope I'm gonna do that,
That's
too.
amazing. Would you change anything?
No.
Would you change anything
No,
in your sports career?
no,
Nothing at all?
no,
You wish you were playing out?
yeah.
Yeah.
I would change that.
I don't know, Chico. I don't know. You might have to lose a few pounds. At any rate, I would like to extend my thanks again to Mark and Southland TV, Mary Compton, Rosemary DiBendetto. I'm Frank Pulciani. I worked for the sheriff for 20 years, and I get a kick out of this stuff. I love working with charities. I like to do good things. And this guy here is, I think you were ranked out of 5, now you're going to have to correct me on this, but out of battalion chief is the highest rank. Is that correct in Chicago?
No, it actually is the fire commissioner.
Okay, well, yeah.
A battalion chief has usually 5 or 6 fire stations under his command.
Okay.
And
So out of 5,000 battalion chiefs, you were ranked one of the top guys, weren't you, at one time?
well, I was actually, when I retired, I was 2 ranks higher than the battalion chief.
Wow.
But a couple of ranks below the fire commissioner, for sure.
Wow.
And it was just a very, very rewarding career. Very rewarding.
I'm sure you've
A
seen
lot of fun.
You've seen it all and saved a lot of lives.
You never see it all.
No,
No.
no. Nothing like going in a burning building and not knowing what's going on there, I guess.
You're
huh?
starting to scare me.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll close there. I thank you guys for watching and go Cubbies.
Go Cubbies and
Let's hope so.
See them in the
see
World
you
Series.
October 22nd.
Beautiful.
Got it. Andy,
Thank you.
so good to
Appreciate
see you.
All right, Andy.
Oops.
Chico?
Chico.
All right.
Thumbs up, guys.